Macbeth did not trip into evil. He was tempted. The real question is whether temptation is the same as blame. So who's really to blame? Before we even get into the witches themselves, it's worth remembering why they're there at all. King James I, who was on the English throne when Shakespeare wrote Macbeth, was obsessed with witchcraft. He believed witches were real, dangerous, and actively involved in human affairs. He even wrote a book on the subject, Demonology. Shakespeare knew his audience and his king. By making the witches central to the play, he taps directly into the Jacobean fears about temptation, the supernatural, and the idea that evil doesn't always force you, sometimes it persuades you. Macbeth is a tragic hero, and despite the absolutely unhinged crimes he commits, we still feel sorry for him at the end. And that discomfort matters. The witches don't create his ambition, they recognize it. Macbeth already has what he later calls his black and deep desires. Becoming king isn't impossible. Macbeth is nobility, just very far down the line. The witches know this. They also know he's brave, loyal, and due for a reward. In fact, before Macbeth even appears on stage, they're already planning their move. There to meet with Macbeth. That's not coincidence. That is supernatural soliciting. Their timing is perfect. When they greet him with, "All hail Macbeth, hail to thee, Thane of Glamis, Thane of Cawdor, and that shalt be king hereafter," it sounds outrageous. Until, moments later, Macbeth is officially named Thane of Cawdor, and suddenly the witches don't seem mad. They seem powerful. And Macbeth's reaction tells us everything. He doesn't dismiss the prophecy. He freezes. Banquo notices immediately. Why do you start and seem to fear things that sound so fair? This is because the idea has already taken hold. Macbeth admits it himself. Why do I yield to that suggestion, whose horrid image doth unfix my hair? That word yield matters. He isn't forced, he's tempted. Macbeth insists he doesn't want to be king, but his imagination jumps straight to murder. Shortly after, he confirms his ambition in private. "Stars, hide your fires. Let not light see my black and deep desires." Lady Macbeth pushes him at first, but she later hesitates. Macbeth doesn't. Instead, he follows a floating dagger towards Duncan's chamber. Is this a dagger which I see before me, the handle toward my hand? Hallucination or supernatural interference? Shakespeare never tells us, and that ambiguity is the point. But this is where responsibility shifts. Banquo's murder has nothing to do with the witches. No prophecy, no manipulation, just jealousy and paranoia. To be thus is nothing, but to be safely thus. And when Macbeth later seeks the witches out himself, they don't control him, they deceive him. They offer half-truths that make him feel untouchable. "None of women born shall harm Macbeth." And Macbeth shall never vanquished be until great Birnam wood to high Dunsinane hill shall come against him. It's confidence without clarity, and it leads directly to his downfall. Banquo warned us all along. The instruments of darkness tell us truths, win us with honest trifles, to betrays in deepest consequence. So yes, the witches manipulate, they tempt, they solicit, but Macbeth chooses. The witches tempt him with a future, but Macbeth murders his way into it, and that's why the tragedy is his alone.